Hey, Shalom. This is I.S.U.P.K. Started out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be the I.S.U.P.K. Milwaukee Sabbath class. Okay. Well, we're going to teach about the Sabbath. All right. So give me 1 second while we get things rolling. All right. Okay. 1 second. We got some crazy man right here. Hold on. Let me delete him. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, if y'all got any questions, go ahead and tune in. All right, we better go ahead and get started. All right. So, all right, today is Saturday. What that means to me is today is the Sabbath service. This is the Sabbath. Okay. So we're gonna get into Genesis about the Sabbath. All right. Well, first, let's go ahead and get the scripture in Genesis. Genesis chapter 1. We're gonna start. We're gonna start at the very beginning. All right. We're gonna, in fact, Genesis chapter 2. All right. We're gonna start at 2 verse 1. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished." This is when the Most High finished making all of his, doing all his work in the past 6 days. All right. We understand that in the past 6 days, you know what I'm saying, what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that a day unto the Lord is 1,000 years. All right. So over the period of time of 6 days, this is 6,000 years that the earth it was in motion, was being created. Okay. Everybody, the Christian church will teach you 6 days, like, okay, 24-hour period. You got to understand the Lord's in a whole different plane of world. You know what I'm saying? He's in the fourth dimension, which is a totally different place. The time, with the days, everything is totally different than here on earth. Here on earth, we have a so-called 24-hour period from sun up to sundown. All right. But to the Lord, a day unto the Lord is 1,000 years. Okay. So let's go ahead and keep reading. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 1. Start back at verse 1. It says, "Thus the heavens and the heavens and the earth were finished, and all of the hosts of them." Verse 2. "And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made." All right. So the Lord, you know what I'm saying? The Lord chilled. He chilled, man. He got finished with all his work on the seventh day. He was like, okay, cool, man. What the scripture say? He rested. Okay. We're going to jump down to verse 3. It says, and God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work, which God created and made. You see, the Lord blessed the seventh day. You understand? You want to know what why the you know what I'm saying? Why it's part of Israelite culture to rest on the seventh day? Because this is why. You understand? Because the Lord rested on the seventh day. You understand? The Lord don't want you to come out here. You know, most of us will work 7 days a week. Some of y'all probably do work 7 days a week. You understand? But if God rested on the seventh day, you know what I'm saying? Are you better than God? Are you better than the Most High? No, you sit down on the Sabbath and you rest. However you feel like you want to rest, you want to rest. All right? Because, you know, these other people that have no knowledge, they don't understand the scriptures. They don't understand the Bible. You understand? They think that on the Sabbath day you can't go in the kitchen and cook some food. They think you can't turn on the stove. They think you know what I'm saying. They think you got to make all your food the day before the Sabbath, so you don't have to turn on the stove or put the microwave to warm up your food. You got to eat cold cut sandwiches. You understand, for the whole day, the whole Sabbath. You got to eat a nice cold cut turkey sandwich. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about y'all, but man, have my wife fry up some chicken, have her make some food, turn on the stove, turn on the oven, bake, cook, fry, whatever. You understand? Because a lot of you don't have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The true knowledge and understanding. You understand? You go off probably some regurgitated BS that you heard someone else say. All right. So let's keep going. Now we know in Genesis chapter 2, 1 through 3, God rested on the seventh day. Okay. And we're going to jump to Exodus. We're going to jump to Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. You're going to go to verse 8 first, okay? It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Okay? What does it mean when you keep the Sabbath holy? That means you do it. You recognize it. You rest on that day. You do whatever the hell you want to do to make you feel like that you're at rest. If you want to take your family to the movies on a Sabbath day, you can. If you want to go bowling on the Sabbath day, you can. If you want to go to the gun range on a Sabbath day, then you can. You understand? If you want to go cook a big feast for your family on the Sabbath day, you can. You understand? If you want to have sex with your wife, or you want to have sex with your husband on the Sabbath day, guess what? You can. Okay? You can. All right? But you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have knowledge, they don't have understanding. All right? They don't have knowledge or understanding, and they regurgitate what half these other people say. They regurgitate, you know, oh, you gotta eat cold cut sandwich. You gotta make your food the day before. You know what I'm saying? You can't turn on the heat. You gotta lay down in the cold all day, shivering. You gotta get under the blanket. You gotta lay down and you can't move. You can't move a muscle in the bed. They say that's the Sabbath. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Go ahead. They also say you can't take baths on the Sabbath. They say, oh my God. They say that you can't take bath on the Sabbath. Good night. What if some of you sisters one night is on your flower? Y'all on your flower, you can't take a bath on the Sabbath? So you just gotta wait till the sun go down to take a bath. You understand? It's gonna be a very messy situation. You understand? You're gonna be in a very difficult situation, sis, if you don't take a bath. You understand? This is why it's important to, you know what I'm saying? This is why, first of all, the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. Let's not make no doubts about that. You understand? The truth, the Lord gave the truth to the I.S.U.P.K since 1969. And guess what? The I.S.U.P.K today has been upholding everything, you know what I'm saying, that was learned back in 1969. Okay? The problem is men, you know what I'm saying, that come in here and learn the truth, they leave, they're gonna start on their own group, and guess what you got? You got a watered down version of the truth. You understand? That's the problem. You understand? That's the problem. But this is why we say that we are not affiliated with no other group whatsoever. We are not affiliated. You understand? We don't involve ourselves with no other group. Nothing. We fly solo dolo. We fly solo dolo. All right. And I don't know what this brother in this comment keep talking about. He keeps copying and pasting and sending these long texts with no knowledge whatsoever. You don't know anything that you're talking about. This dude said the Book of War, 1 verse 1. Don't know what the hell you're talking about, brother. Brother, come into class, dress in all black, become a trooper. If you really want some knowledge and understanding, you're gonna come in these ranks. But right now, you just speaking some mumbo jumbo. That's it, mumbo jumbo. You don't know anything. Okay? All right, let's get back to the Sabbath service. All right, this is Exodus 20, verse 8. It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Verse 9, 6 days thou shalt thou labor and do all thy work. So, you know what I'm saying? You got 6 days. You got 6 days to do everything that you could possibly do. Do all your work. Okay? Verse 10, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. You understand? Back in Genesis, we read that the Lord blessed the Sabbath. This said this is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt do no work. In it thou shalt not do any work. Now, this is where it get misconstrued with the fake groups out there and everything, with these so-called Israelites that's out there. Okay? They say when they should do no work. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you can't go take a bath. You know what I'm saying? What the scriptures say? The scriptures say, what if your cow or your animal fall into a ditch? So you won't work to get your animal out? What you're gonna do is you're gonna leave your animal in there to die. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna leave your animal in that ditch for the wolves. You understand? No, you're gonna work to get your animal out. It's saying to go work. For example, it says, thou shalt not do any work therein. Meaning work to make you money. To make you money. That's the type of work he's talking about. Work your slavery. If possible, I know right now today we slaves in America. So sometimes your slavery would require you to come in on a Saturday. I mean, yeah, you got to go in. You got to go in, or otherwise you're gonna be fired. You're gonna be fired. You're gonna lose your house. You won't, go in. This is talking about when, you know what I'm saying. Right here, when we become free as a people, wouldn't nobody be working on the Sabbath. Meaning you wouldn't be doing anything to make you money. You wouldn't be going to no jobs. If you're an Israelite and you employ other Israelites, guess what you're not gonna. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take the day off, and your employees is going to take the day off. You understand? But it's not talking about working to, like, the scripture also say do good on the Sabbath. So would it be a good thing for you to get your animal up out of the ditch instead of leaving your animal in there the whole Sabbath, starving, immobile, might potentially die? It would be a good thing to go rescue your animal. Go get your animal out the ditch. It might take a little elbow grease, a little work, but get your animal out the ditch. You understand? Where we at? Exodus 20, verse 9. It says, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Verse 10. But the 7th day is the Sabbath. The 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, which means you, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, or thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. Meaning that you won't be using no farm animals to be going outside working on the farm. You got to let your servants take the day off. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're slaves. If they're your slaves, man, them motherfuckers work. You understand? Any Israelites. You understand? Because you got to remember. The law was given to the Israelites. Okay? So yeah, your slaves is still gonna work because they slaves. All right. But you know, your man servants is like Israelite servants that work for you in your house. Maid servants, Israelites that work for you in your house. You understand? Even your cattle, like I said, your farm animals, your ox. You understand? Your animals that help you with farming, they take a day off. They get some rest too. It says, "Nor thy stranger nor thy stranger that is within thy gates." Now, when it's saying stranger that is within thy gates, what is it talking about? Go ahead.
Would it be like another Israelite that's your friend, or
You close. You close. Bring me home. You was super close. Another Israelite that's what? If he's considered a stranger,
that's another Israelite that's
talk a little louder too.
Another Israelite that's going to work that you can't go to them to have them to work for you.
No, okay. Let me give you a good example. We about to have camp soon. We got Israelites coming from another location that's coming here. Would that be considered? They will be considered what?
Strangers.
Why?
Because they're not.
That's exactly what it's talking about. It's exactly what it's talking about. It says nor the stranger which is within thy gates. These are Israelites that come from a whole different location. You understand? Back then, there was Israelites. Israelites was living in Jerusalem. You understand? Before the Passover or whatnot, Israelites would come from all over, just like now today. You understand? Whatever the location we having the Passover at, all Israelites come to that location and we have the Passover. This is the exact same thing. And all the Israelites that come that's not from that location are strangers because I don't notice that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they from a different location, they're from a different place. That is what it's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some fake Israelites out there that be like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? They're strangers, meaning that they're heathens. No. These are just Israelites that are simply not from here. So we got brothers coming from Chicago that's coming to Milwaukee, but are they from Milwaukee? No. We're from Milwaukee. So we're native to Milwaukee. Any other brothers or sisters that comes from anywhere else that come over here are strangers. You see what I'm saying? When I moved up here, I was considered a stranger until I became native. You see what I'm saying? Okay. It's verse 11. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. What does it mean to hallow something? What does it mean to hallow something? Let's look it up. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. If y'all got any questions, you know what I'm saying, comments or concerns, besides this brother right here, man, what's his name? Keanu Machiavelli, whatever, Christ. Look, this dude think he's Christ himself. Get out of here, bro. You got a lot of lunatics out here, man. You got to be careful. You got all these wolves dressed in clothing. sheep dressed in clothing. Go ahead.
I got made holy and got some credit. Holy.
What's the first definition?
Made holy.
That's it. Made holy. Made holy. That's exactly what it is. Made separate. That's what the word holy means. Made separate. Meaning that this is a separate event. This is a separate from all your other days. You got 6 normal days that you're doing all your work within. But this 7th day is a special day. The Lord said he separated it. He hollowed it. It's a holy day, meaning it's a separate day. You got 7 days out of the week. Them 6 days is just normal days. You do whatever you got to do within them 6 days. That 7th day come. You treat that 7th day something special. This is a holy day. This is a separate day from all the other days. You understand? And within that 7th day, guess what? No work. You shall do any Israelite shall not do no work therein. You know what I'm saying? You, your son, your daughter, your manservant, your maidservant, even the Lord is so righteous. He said, man, even give your animals, your farm animals, cattle, your animals. It ain't got to necessarily be farm animals, but animals that just work, period. Your farm animal, the dog that go that herd the sheep, give him a rest. Give all your animals a rest. This is what the Lord is so righteous. He's even thinking of the animals. You understand? Like a wicked Israelite would be, still trying to make him some money using. Oh, they just animals. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the ox ready so you can go farm. The Lord wants you to give your animals a day off. Okay? It says, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, and even the stranger within thy gates. You understand? Back then, man, look, I can tell you one thing. Israelites are one of the most hospitable people on the face of this earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Another brother or sister come from a whole different location. Guess what? Israelites that's within that area, whatever location they're going to, guess what? They would treat him with hospitality. Come in my house. Come on, man. Stay the night with me. They be fighting over who, you know what I'm saying? This person, get to stay over. Come on, he gonna stay with me. No, come on, come over here. Come to my house. You understand? I mean, this is before, we got conquered, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But yeah, it was a lot of brotherhood, a lot of sisterhood back then, which was beautiful. Okay. Let me see where we at. Okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. This is we're gonna go to Mark chapter 2, verse 27. Okay, so look, we about to get ready to talk about, you know what I'm saying, a lot of you Israelites there being servants to the Sabbath. When the Sabbath comes, you want to, you know what I'm saying, the Lord said rest first and foremost. That means do whatever you want to do to make you at rest, to make you feel at rest. Like I said, if you want to cook, go out, go to have fun, go to the movies, go bowling, go to the gun range. Or do whatever you want to do. Cook, clean. If you want to wash the dishes and make you feel at rest, wash the dishes. You want to wash clothes on that day, you know what I'm saying? Wash clothes. But it's whatever to make you at rest. You can go shopping if you want to. Go shopping on that day. Go spend some money on that day. Whatever you want to do. Go what? Just drive your car. If you want to go to the lakefront or just drive around, you know what I'm saying, with the windows down, feeling the cool breeze in your face, do that. You know what I'm saying? But these Israelites would rather lay in the bed with the heater off. Got him a cold cut sandwich ready from yesterday, made yesterday. The bread is a little stale, bread a little soggy from cold tomatoes, the cold pickles, the cold lunch meat. Everything on that damn sandwich is cold. Got the cheese is cold. You know what I'm saying? Eating cold cut sandwiches. You just laying in the bed. You can't take a bath. You can't brush your teeth. You know what I'm saying? You only can use the bathroom. You can't turn on the heat. Like I said, you can't turn on the heater, the stove or the oven. Oh man, Lord be with you, man. If it's hot in the house, you gotta lay there. You gotta lay there and cook. You gotta cook. You're gonna be man. You're gonna be like turkey coming out the oven. You're gonna be like turkey out the oven. Lord be with you, man. You can't turn on that air conditioner. You know what I'm saying? Because what the scriptures, what they say, you can't light a fire. Let's go to that one first. Before we go to Mark 2, let's go to light a fire. I said, what's that scripture? Kindle a fire. Let's go to Exodus chapter 35, verse 3. Let's start at verse 1 just to get the concept of what's going on. All right. This is Exodus chapter 35, verse 1. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which the Lord hath commanded that ye should do them. Verse 2. 6 days shall work be done. We understand that, right? But on the seventh day there shall be to you a holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. You know that. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. This is a death penalty offense. You understand? Now, of course, we're not doing that now. But of course, when we become our own nation again, become free and establish an empire, this is going to be in full effect. That means you're an Israelite and you got employees and you making your employees come on the seventh day, the Sabbath day. Guess what? You get put to death. You trying to make money? You trying to? You got a little business, a store, and you trying to sell items on that day? On that, you put to death. This is a death penalty offense. Man, everybody, all Israelites worldwide is going to recognize that day. You understand? You know how some days like when it's the white man's holiday coming up. Like for example, Thanksgiving or Christmas. You understand? You go outside, the streets be dead, right? There won't be nothing happening on the streets. You barely see cars coming and going. Everybody's in the house. That's how the Sabbath is going to be. It's going to be dead in the streets. You ain't gonna see. Ain't gonna be no. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's gonna be dead, but it's gonna be who?
Nobody.
Well, I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be nobody outside because Sabbath is you're resting. But you ain't gonna see nobody doing work. You ain't gonna see stores open besides the necessary stores, like stores where you go buy your buy meats and stuff. Stores like that still need to be open. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You want to go like, it's gonna be certain stores that's gonna remain open. But like you going to, you know what I'm saying? It's we gonna figure, like I said, we're gonna figure it all the way out. There's gonna be stores open because guess what? People want to shop. You want to go buy items, buy stuff, buy things. So okay, let's keep going. Okay, verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. Now, what is that talking about? Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. Is this talking about that you can't cook? Is it talking about you can't cook? You can't light, you can't put up a fire, you can't warm your house.
No, it's not saying you can't cook. It just says you can't kindle a fire. Would that be like still doing work? Like some people do, like making swords and stuff like that. You can't kindle a fire for that.
It's not talking about that. It's not talking about that because in I believe it's in the same book. You can when you give an offering to the Lord, you can still you can cook. You can fry chicken. You can let me see. Let's pull it up.
You can't kindle a fire in your habitation. Habitation is where you live at. And then they think like, oh, okay, you can't kindle a fire, meaning you can't cook, you can't barbecue.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna say. But give me 1 second. Let me see. We'll find the scripture real quick.
Look at the word kindle. What would kindle? That would be a good start.
Yeah, it means to light, like to light, like something on fire. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm about to get. If y'all got any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments, man. We're gonna get right to it. All right. You understand? Just to let y'all, we talking about the Sabbath. We going in depths into the Sabbath service and how to keep the Sabbath service and whatnot. Okay.
I got the definition for kindle.
Go ahead with the definition.
Okay, so the definition for kindle, it says to set on fire, to cause to burn with flame, to light, as to kindle a fire. 2, to inflame as the possession, to extract, to rouse, to provoke, to excite, to action, to heat, to fire, to animate, as to kindle anger or wrath, to kindle resentment, to kindle the flame of love or love into a flame. So that means you can't cause an argument on Sabbath?
Nah, you know, so what I need to do is, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to I forgot the precept to that though, but I'm gonna get back to it. All right, I'm gonna get back to that. All right, let me just get with higher ups real quick. All right, but we're gonna keep it moving. Let's go back to Mark chapter 2. Yep. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Yep. Mark 2 and 27. It says, and he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. What is it talking about? It's talking about, you know what I'm saying, what a lot of these Israelites is doing out there, they serving the Sabbath. The Sabbath should serve you. You understand? The Sabbath is a day of rest. And when you kind of limit yourself, you gotta eat strictly cold cut sandwiches. You can't go take a bath. You can't go brush your teeth. You got to prepare all your food the day before. All those is limiting you on the Sabbath. You're not fully taking advantage of the Sabbath. This says the Sabbath wasn't made for man, meaning this wasn't a day that the Lord made holy for you to serve this day. This day was made to serve you, because a lot of you will be out there working 7 days a week with no rest. The Lord is giving you an opportunity to rest. This is your rest. That 7th day come up, which is why back in the previous scriptures it says you should do all your work therein. You're doing all your work. 6 days you're gonna be working and grinding and making money. Okay, but on the 7th day you rest. Take a rest. Take a break. You understand? That's for all Israelites, and it's there for a reason. You understand? Because a lot of us are some go-getters. If it was up to us, we would go and break our body up for 7 days a week. We would take no days off. No days off. But the Lord understands his people. The Lord understands, because guess what? Why? Because we're made in his image. We will grind 7 days if it weren't for the Lord making the 7th day holy. Okay. Let's go back to 27. It says, and he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Verse 28. Therefore, the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. You understand? Meaning what? What does that mean? It says that the Son of Man is the Lord also of the Sabbath. What does that mean? Well, let's just go back into the story, okay? Let's jump back up to 23. We're gonna get the details of what it's talking about. Mark chapter 2, verse 23. And it came to pass that he went through the cornfields on the Sabbath day, and his disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of corn. Verse 24. And the Pharisees said unto him, behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is unlawful? What is he talking about? Because they saw him plucking corns.
Weren't they working on Saturday?
Right. Keep going. Oh, well, yeah. Well, let me keep going. Verse 25. And he said unto them, have ye never read what David did when he had need? This is the key. When he had need and he was hungered, he and they that were with him. Verse 26. How he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar, the high priest, and did eat the showbread, which is not lawful to eat, but for the priests. And he gave also to them which were with him. You understand? What is that talking about?
They still gave him something to eat.
Well, first of all, you're doing some good. You know what I'm saying? The priests let him get some of that bread because why? Because David and his peoples came in hungered. They just came out the battle. So you know what I'm saying? After a battle, you're famished. You didn't used up all your energy and your you know what I'm saying? And all you want to do is rest. Rest, get you some good food, get you some good drink in, and chill. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. David went into the temple, you understand, and the high priest let him get the showbread for him and his men because they was hungry after a battle. Let me ask you a question. Now, it goes back to the scripture. You know what I'm saying? To do a good thing on the Sabbath. It's a good thing, man, that he did that. You know what I'm saying? At the time, was David a priest? No, because it is unlawful to touch the showbread. If it was a showbread on the table, and guess what? Only the priest can eat the showbread. You understand? But it be sometimes be like shit, people be like, I get some. Yeah, go ahead, get showbread, man. Go ahead, get one. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing that the high priest did with David. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing because I know people be hungry. It's be Sabbath, man. You be hungry. You be in class. You be going to camp. You get ready for camp. Sometimes you be hungry. Sometimes there'll be time to eat breakfast. You know what I'm saying? But that's why the showbreads, they be right there. You know what I'm saying? On the priest table, them showbreads be looking and smelling real good. Especially you be hungry. That's exactly what happened. David walked in, him and his men, and guess what? They got some of that showbread. It's the same thing. He did a good thing on that day. You know what I'm saying? He would have been overly righteous and be like, David came in, his men came in, and they let me get some of this showbread. Nah, this is for the priest. You can't eat this. Him and his men just came from battle, and they hungry. That'd be a very mean and rude thing to do, especially for a brother. If you're supposed to love your brother, you see what I'm saying? All right, let's see where we at with it. See any questions online? Let me see if there's any questions on YouTube. One second. Okay, no questions. No questions on the Facebook. All right, give me 1 second. If I got any questions, anything about pertaining to anything or about the Sabbath, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and type your comments in, all right? Just checking on Facebook and YouTube to see if we have any more questions. But if not, we're going to keep going. We're about to get ready to wrap this up because we got to make the camp. All right? All right, let's go to Mark chapter 3 and 4. Okay? Go to Mark chapter 3, verse 4. Let's go to verse 1. Mark chapter 3, verse 1, just to get the idea and just to get what it's talking about. It says, and he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand. What is it talking about? Well, what is a withered hand? Yeah, like how you see some people that got their hand is all shrunk and shriveled. No, well, not arthritis, but it says withered hand, meaning his hand's like shrunk and shriveled, and it look like it's dying. You know what I'm saying? Verse 2. And they watched him, whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. Verse 3. And he said unto the man which had the withered hand, stand forth. Verse 4. And he said unto them, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days, or to do evil, to save life, or to kill? But they held their peace. You understand? Verse 5. And when he had looked around about on, and when he had looked round about on them with anger, being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he said unto the man, stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored whole as the other. You understand? You got to understand the concept. Like the Pharisees wanted to kill Yahushua. They wanted to kill him. Why? Because he was, they were trying to find any little thing to do to kill him. But the Pharisees didn't understand the scriptures. They didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? Christ cut him. He said, is it lawful? Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath? Yes, it is lawful to do good, which is why I used that example earlier about if your animal fall in the ditch. Wouldn't you go save the animal? Yeah, you would save animal. Why? Yeah, that's doing good. That's you're doing a good thing on the Sabbath. Even though it's work, but you're saving his life. This is why it says, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days or to do evil? What would be the evil thing to do? Not help the animal. Or help, you know what I'm saying, or not to do good. I used that example earlier with the showbread. If David and his men came in and then they wanted some of that showbread, the priest took the showbread, was like, I can't have none. This is for the priest. With that would have been the evil thing to do. Even though, it would have been, he would have been in the right to not give him no showbread, but that wouldn't have been like the brotherly thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Another example that I use. You know how we have to have a class sometimes? We have class on like Sabbath service, and you know what I'm saying, people in the audience, they want some of the showbread, and we just go ahead, just give them some of the showbread. Same thing. I could be like, no, y'all not getting none. It's for the priest only. But that'd be, you know what I'm saying? Right. Rude, and that'd be, you know what I'm saying, that'd be unkind. Okay. All right. You have any other questions? No questions. All right. With that being said, that's gonna be the end for Sabbath class. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua to all my brothers out there, and Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Alatat by Shem Yahshua to my sisters. All right, Shalom.